Good evening. Rishus Rosh Yeshiva Rabbi Avram Friedman, our Chancellor, Rabbi Dr. Yaakov Eisenberg, Rabbanim Chashuvim, family, friends, and fellow graduates. As we gather here today to mark this momentous occasion, indeed this milestone, we the graduates feel a variety of emotions: gratitude, relief, and excitement. We feel gratitude because we have gained so much from the yeshiva, and we are forever indebted to it. We have grown from high school graduates to well-rounded B'nai Torah, committed to making a difference in the world. We feel relief because we know that we have finally, after much sweat and toil, fulfilled the prerequisite for living our dream: a college degree coupled with yeshiva education. We did it. We're in. Finally, we feel excitement because we know what awaits us after the ceremony: the ability to make a difference in the world. As college graduates, we can ascend to positions of importance and cause change not only through personal example, which is the obligation of every person, but also through the ability to influence change in others, an ability singular to those with influential positions. This has all been enabled by the yeshiva's belief that is expressed so eloquently in Pirkei Avos. Yevon Talmud Torah im derech eretz, she'egias shneim she'kach zavan. Great is Torah learning coupled with work, for through the toil of both, one can avoid wrongdoing. Rambam in Deos explains that if one has a respectable way to make a living, but still remains true to Torah values, he can avoid transgression, since in a spiritual sense he is good, since he's learning Torah, and in a material sense he is good, since he is able to make a respectable living and has no need to steal and the like. He can provide sustenance for himself and his family in a legal and normal way. Indeed, this would seem to be the ideal life. However, the Rambam later on in Deos mentions that one must associate with people who will help him get closer to Hashem, since a person is influenced by the people with whom he comes into contact. The Rambam goes as far as to say that if a person has a choice between living in the desert and living in a city where he will be influenced to be further from Hashem, he should choose the desert. This seems to run counter to what Rambam stated earlier. If working is so important to spirituality, why should one distance himself from such an important calling and go live in the desert where one will surely not find respectable work? The answer lays in what the person most values. If a person does not have the proper understanding of why he's going to work, if he thinks he's going solely for a career, then if the environment is negative, he must leave it because his spirituality will surely wither and die. However, if a person has the proper perspective, then everything changes. A person must understand that he needs to go to work in order to find a respectable way to sustain himself and to make a Kiddush Hashem by influencing positive change and setting a personal example. Such a person understands that his true friends are those who he sees when he goes to shul, when he goes to learn at night, with whom he does chesed. Such a person is ready for the workplace, since he has the proper outlook to allow him to grow. He will change his surroundings instead of his surroundings changing him. This sentiment is reflected in the words of Albert Einstein: try not to be a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. One must strive to add value to the world. It's not about the career itself, it's what you do with the career. This is probably the most important lesson we have learned in the show. Although the moral and spiritual levels of society reach new depth every day, we feel ready to take it on because we have acquired this important perspective. We understand what our calling in life is, and we are ready to go out there and make a difference. We will change our environment instead of our environment changing us. At this time, we would like to recognize and thank all the people in our lives who have contributed to our growth. We thank our parents for the support and love that they have and always will shower upon us. We thank our siblings for being loving and cool and awesome. We thank our friends for all the times they've been there just when it was needed. On a personal note, I would like to thank Rabbi Mordechai Eisenbach, my Rebbe, for guiding me and being there with me through thick and thin. Thanks, Rebbe. We thank the yeshiva for all they have done for us, spiritually, morally, and materially. I will not mention any names of faculty members, but there are so many people to thank at this illustrious institution that I'm afraid I'm going to forget some. Suffice it to say, that it was an extraordinary experience to be around so many world-class educators for so long. Every person in the faculty is a giant in his own right. Combined, it is dizzying to think how much scholarship is within the walls of the yeshiva. We thank Rabbi Avram Friedman, our Rosh Yeshiva, for his Torah leadership and scholarly shiurim. We thank Rabbi Dr. Yaakov Eisenberg, our Chancellor, who on a daily basis attends to the financial, academic, and spiritual needs of HTC. We thank Rabbi Tzvi Zimmerman, our Mashgiach, for his involvement in the welfare of all base measure students. We thank Rabbi Michael Myers, our dean, who is the driving force behind the college. He's an inspiration for all of us and is the embodiment of Torah in their hearts. We are fortunate to have him as our dean. As always, we thank Hashem for providing us with all that we have for all that is yet to come.